Okay, we got Tulane versus Army in the American Athletic Conference game preview. Our old conference as Cincinnati Bearcats fans. How do you feel, Zach? Just first of all, looking at your old conference, do you feel nostalgia at all for the AAC or not
No.
too much?
To be honest, no. It's kind of become a disaster, though. I mean, it really it was a respectable conference for. I mean, always had a top group of five team in football, had a couple ranked teams. Was competitive, and then basketball was a really good league. There were a couple of years I think where it was rated higher than a couple Power Five leagues. But in football, it's been really bad. But in basketball, especially, it's rough, man. It's almost turning into like Memphis is becoming the Gonzaga of that league, and that's saying something because it's Memphis. Like
Yeah,
it's not Gonzaga. It's not a Memphis thing. It's an AAC thing while they're doing it. But I mean, I shouldn't say that because Memphis hasn't really actually won the league really yet. But um,
yeah.
they are like considerably the best team by a wide margin right now. Yeah, it is. It's tough. I just can't believe we were playing so many of these teams for so many years. It was, I mean, it's bad. It is
It
really
is
bad.
crazy, right? It is crazy. But both these teams on the bright side have been pretty good this year. I mean, they're in the championship. Um, Tulane versus Army, who clocks in at number 24. Let's start with Army because they've had a pretty great season, I would say. Um, it's weird, man. I just find teams that just run the option just kind of sometimes it can be tough to watch, especially when they get down like they did against Notre Dame and it just piles
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
But Bryson Daly has been a really good player for them. 25 rushing touchdowns and 8 passing touchdowns. Really great performance from him. And then on the other side, they have a great rusher as well in Mekhi Hughes. Anything you want to say about either of these teams?
yeah. I mean, I think you kind of hit it on the head with Army and the triple option. It's a bit of a it's a tough watch from time to time. I can't lie. Um, yeah, especially as you said with like Notre Dame, and it almost feels like they're playing in blowouts one way or another.
Yeah.
That's good. They're a good football team, so they're beating teams they should by a lot. The Notre Dame game was rough, but yeah, I did. I mean, like I watched UC play Navy a couple times over the years. They played Army once a few years back, and yeah, you're right. It is a tough. It's always a tough game though. You kind of have to throw everything out of the window because some teams just aren't they're not good at stopping the triple option. It is tough. It's completely different. It's a thing you have to prepare for. It's not just a thing you prepare for the week of the game, right? You have to be preparing for it before. Like I know, I used to hear Luke Fickle talk about it when they played Navy. They throw stuff in there, and August camp or whatever, or in July and August they do it. They every couple of weeks, maybe every week, they'd throw in something that had to do with the triple option just for one game, regardless of how good or bad Navy or Army is. But yeah, so it's you never really know what you're going to get. I will say, I think with those Notre Dame with both Army and Navy, I will say from experience, Marcus Freeman has had a lot of success stopping options. He did it at UC. They kind of dominated the games they played against Army and Navy when he was there. And so if Tulane is able to kind of figure it out and they have the right approach to it, you can't be over aggressive. You have to be patient. I think if Tulane can create a couple negative plays, make them have to try to throw the ball in third and long, it could be a really long day for Army, like what happened with Notre Dame. I think the same the same goes the other way. If they're struggling and Army's able to get 3 yards on first down every time, 4 yards, that's all they want. That's what they want to do. They want to go 3 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, just first down. They want 10-minute drives that, or 80-yard touchdown drives. That's what they like to do. Plays of disruption, that's kind of the key to this for Tulane. Tulane's, their offense struggled a little bit against Memphis. Memphis is a good team. If I'm being honest, I would have rather watched Memphis in this game than Tulane. I think Memphis is the better team all around. They just slipped up a couple times in league play. I think everybody would generally agree Memphis is better, but this is where we're at. But yeah, I mean, Memphis really doesn't have that good of a defense, and Tulane struggled for a large part of that game on offense. They got a young freshman quarterback, Mensa, I think his name is. Mekhi Hughes is a really fun watch. Tulane is starting to kind of churn out these running backs with Tyjae Spears and now Mekhi Hughes. I think he's an NFL back for sure. Really, really good player. Mario Williams, I believe his name is their top receiver. He's a good player to watch. But yeah, on Army, you're really just looking at Bryson Daly. He does everything. I wouldn't be shocked if the guy got some Heisman votes in the top 10. He's done so much. When Army or Navy gets a quarterback like that that's super athletic and can toss it around a little bit, that's where it kind of becomes scary and they can really put it on you. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a really tough game to predict in that fashion because it could go lopsided either way. So yeah,
absolutely. I think you make some great points there. And another thing I want to lean on you for is, Tulane is favored in this game. It says 3.5 right now on ESPN. But Army, one thing that can maybe swing it in their favor is that they are at home. Can you tell me because you've been there, can you tell me what West Point is like and
I can tell
how
you
that environment might be tricky?
It's cold. And it's not New Orleans anymore for the Green Wave. There might be.
Yes.
I'm looking at it. It says game time weather. It's 28 degrees. That the Hudson River, upstate New York, is not gonna be kind to the folks from Louisiana. But it's a good crowd too. I'm sure it'll be a great crowd. Nothing like that Tulane can't overcome, but it's still notable. It's they're going on the road, but yeah, I mean the weather. I think in really both this game and the Mountain West game that we've talked about before, they're both going to be played really cold. I don't know if there's going to be any snow. That would change a little bit, but I don't think the cold is really going to impact all four of these teams much because all four of them really do like to run the ball. I mean, obviously Army does, but Tulane is very dynamic on the ground. They do like to throw it a little bit more than like a UNLV or Boise, but I think all four of these teams are very run-first offenses, and I think so. I really don't see that aspect of it with the cold being too much of it offensively, but it does impact you. Not being used to the cold weather, and Army likes to grind you, that they hit you hard, and you'll feel it a little bit when it's below freezing out there. So it will play a factor, but not as much as if they were playing Memphis, for example, who likes to throw it around a bit.
Yeah, certainly. I agree. Maybe it will be a little bit of a shock to Tulane here. It's going to be cold. And Army is an interesting team to play because those guys' mentalities are just kind of built different, Yeah. And they got some guys that can hit on this team. I'm seeing 80 tackles for this guy. Their top linebacker, his name is Andon Thomas, and his neck is very, very wide.
Okay.
And yeah, on the running side, Kanye Udo is also close to 1,000 yards on the season.
Yeah.
So Army, they're gonna play hard. They're gonna, play strong. But that'll take us to the predictions for the game. ESPN favors their matchup predictor favors Tulane, and the spread favors Tulane. What are some of your bets for this game?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the outright underdog here. I'm gonna go Army wins, and it just feels like a game that I mean Tulane isn't the same team that they were last year or the year before. Still good, but they're not the second best team in the AAC. As we've talked, I think Memphis is certainly better. It's a tough one to bet on or predict just because of the nuance of Army and the triple option. You don't really know how teams are going to
Absolutely.
be able to handle it. And I really think it's just going to be tough because you don't know, has Tulane been prepping for Army the past few weeks? Have they been looking ahead to this game? Maybe
Sure.
that's why they didn't play too well against Memphis, really prepping more for that triple option. And maybe, but it's, if not, it is tough just in 1 week to really focus on a completely different world of a defensive game plan they have to develop for Army. I think it'll be tough. The weather also plays a factor in that. And Army's a good football team. Sorry about the sirens. I don't
No, it's
know.
okay.
But I'm gonna go Army. I don't, because you just got to be careful with Tulane. If they go 3-and-out a couple of times, like, you might not see the ball for another, 10 minutes of game time. You have to be really careful. They're not going to get a lot of offensive possessions, and you just don't against Army. So they're going to have to be really efficient, take advantage of what they have on offense. I don't think they will. I think Army wins as the underdog outright. I think they win like 28-17. I think they win by a couple of scores. I don't think this one comes down to the wire. I'm a little puzzled at the line here with 4.5 going to Tulane on the road. But I'm going to Army. I'll go. What did I say? I don't like I said,
28-17, you said?
yeah, something along.
So you're taking the under here. The over under is at 48.5.
Yeah,
So you
take the
the
under.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm going to agree with you straight up. I'm going to agree. I'm taking Army. I just think there's a good spot for them. They've been impressive. They've impressed me all year. Their only loss came to Notre Dame, who's a college football playoff team. That happens. While it does worry me, what will happen if Army gets behind? Maybe Mensa and Hughes make some big plays. I just think they're a really gritty team, and I think the coaching matchup favors Army a little bit too. I mean, first year coach here has done a great job for Tulane.
John Summerall. Yeah.
Yep, John Summerall.
He's a
Troy.
big rising name in the coach. He'll be at an SEC school within the next couple of years, I'd bet. But I do agree with you that this is
absolutely done a great job. But Jeff Monken, I think he'll be hungry. I think he'll have this team prepared. And yeah, I see Army winning this game too outright. I think it's going to be close though, like both these games. All right, good luck Army. Good luck Green Wave. I'll see you fans in the next preview.